Hello, everybody. Welcome to the exciting conclusion of our VRML preseason. This is gonna be a good day today, a busy day, no doubt, but welcome just the same because, well, this is it. This is the day. This is what we all have been waiting for 6 weeks, and we're excited to get this started real soon. So, welcome once again. I am Palidore, and I'm being joined here by a table, a casting crew, if you will, of SirDimwi, and we'll also have Andy W around to do some of these games with us. We'll have so much for subtlety on cams and wit as well. So the whole crew is here, and we're ready to go. So how's it going?
It is going really good. I'll start here with the what's going on. Who we got against who we got. So in the upper bracket, we've got Team Gravity, the number 1 seed, coming in 11-2, only 2 losses on the season. With that Emma that's strong in the Mars 1290, going up against the bottom seed, the number 5 Toxic Units, coming in 7-7 with that MMR of 1210. And then in that second bracket, that bottom bracket, we've got the number 2 seed, Backlash, who only has 1 loss in the season, only one of 2 teams in the entire world to pull that off. That, of course, is Backlash and Synapse over in NA, with the only teams with only 1 loss. They're coming in with a very strong MMR of 1220. And that number 2 seed, Backlash, is playing against the number 3 seed, Blast, coming in 9-5 with that an MMR of 1250. So we got some amazing matchups to start this day off. So Andy, how are you feeling about this? What do you think? And what do you expect to see? And what's kind of what we got going on here?
Well, obviously, all these games are going to be just fantastic. All these teams, they're going to be close. The final top 4 sectors of each region. We have Team Gravity. It's going to be interesting how they play against Toxic Unit. I haven't seen too much of Toxic Unit myself, but Team Gravity having those super fast stacks against Simon and Lewis, where they've just really been able to just, towards the end of this preseason, just stretch their legs and show their dominance across the entire field, just being lightning fast up and down. And we ended up actually playing Backlash the other day, and they're just a phenomenal team all around. They have the same kind of aspects. They're just super fast. They took that 1 loss to Gravity, but I wouldn't even think that's going to shake them. They're just so solid, and they're so consistent inside their own gameplay that I think they have a pretty good chance here. It's going to be really interesting. The last match, I know Blast as well has been stepping their game up. They've had some fantastic and close games, really leading themselves into this. They're super strong teams all going into this, with all going to be some fantastically close games.
And these are good. These are definitely, I totally agree. There's going to be some close games all around. And so for anybody wondering about how this is going to go down, we've got round 1. As I said, the number 1 seed versus the number 5, the number 2 versus the number 3, and then the winners of those are going to move into the semifinals bracket. But because this is a double elimination tournament, as well, before I get too far ahead of myself, we are going to be running best of 3, an actual best of 3. So we're not going to be doing third games that don't actually matter a whole lot. So if a team does win 2 in a row, they have won that round, and they will be moving on. We won't be playing that game 3. If they go 1-1, we will be playing that game 3. So as I said, yeah, round 1, the winners move in the semifinals. The losers will move into the the losers round brackets, because this is a double elimination tournament. So then they will play. The losers will play losers round 1. Then the winner of that game will play the losers of the semifinals in the losers round 2, and then the winner of that game will play the winner of the semifinals in the finals, which will go best of 5. But if the team from the losers bracket wins that first finals round, we will have a second round of finals, because this is double elimination, and that winning team does get the opportunity to play twice if they do lose that first round. So we might end up seeing 2 best of 5 series here if things go that way.
That's right. We're going to be looking at a long day of games here to determine the preseason champions. It's an exciting day, and I just can't wait to get this one started. Been waiting for it all my life. Not really, but maybe all this season at least, and for the last 6 weeks. It's all been leading up to this. So much growth between all the teams, the cohesion. You see the chemistry coming together. It's going to be just on full display today here, as we see these top 4 teams for both the regions. Certainly just at the top of their games. We've seen that meta unfold again, especially for these European teams. We see a lot of that double stacking, those stacking pairs, as they call them, so fast. Team Gravity is certainly one of the fastest in the game there. Backlash, no slouch. But same with Blast. They've even been coming through lately. The thing is, everywhere across the board, it's just been getting so much better week to week. And then you have Toxic Units as well. They've been kind of a dark horse team here, but coming up with some great matches throughout the season and competing with those great teams right there at the top. Was initially Calamity, who did actually qualify for that 4th spot, but due to not having the roster available, it was Toxic coming in here. So they are a bit of a dark horse, but they're certainly very capable players, and they just brought in a new one, in fact, Lowrider, just a few weeks ago. He was a league substitute at first, and then after a few weeks of really displaying his prowess in the arena, he came through and they picked him up on the roster, and he's been putting up some huge points for his team in these games, as well as a substitute. So it'll be an interesting situation with that, and just seeing how they come together here as well.
And for anybody who was wondering why the Calamity Backlash game that was scheduled for today wasn't being considered, that was why. It was because why it wasn't considered a big deal, and it was because Calamity, we knew Calamity wasn't going to have that roster available. So it wasn't it really wasn't a big deal that they weren't going to be able to play that game, because otherwise that would have possibly affected the standings coming in here. But since Calamity wasn't able to play, they knew they weren't going to be able to play. It wasn't a big deal that they were going to have that game scheduled. And then as well, just real quick, just so everybody paying attention is aware, Team Gravity Toxic Units will be on this channel, VRML 1, hosted by Palidore, and then Backlash and Blast will be hosted on VRML 2, run by me, SirDimwi, and Andy. And Andy's going to be doing the play-by-play there, so I can save my voice a little bit for the NA games.
And just save your voice in general, I feel like. But a lot of passion being shown throughout this week, especially yesterday's games were incredible across the board. So many determinant games on who would take these seeds for 4th. You know, you had the Smash Dash Calamity game, that was exciting, and a bit of an upset victory for Calamity. And then over on the North American side, you had the likes of the Kangarillas and Ignite and Orbit all contesting right there, that 4th spot, and there were some exciting finishes. So if you guys haven't seen those games, might want to check those out at some point. But just really exciting gameplay here, and we're going to get ready to get started very, very soon. So indeed, we'll be splitting off here in a minute, and there'll be a game here, match here on VRML 1 as well as VRML 2, as Dimwi mentioned, and yeah, we're going to get going.
And then we will come back together for the finals, back on VRML 1 for those final series. So it should be a good time. And Andy, I believe you had something you wanted to add there, man. I guess not. So yeah, so this should be a really exciting day. And he still has himself muted. I saw him on mute. Thought he wanted to throw something in there. But yeah, this should be an amazing series of games here as we move on. I'm very excited to see how this all. Excuse me, I gotta see. I am just not the seminal professional that the rest of us are as my phone goes off as I'm talking. But now finally getting moving here. So very excited to go.
Absolutely. Okay, so I think we're going to split off now and get this show on the road here. And just bear with us for a few moments as we get the other channel set up and the other game set up. And we should be beginning momentarily. So buckle your seatbelts. It is the end of the preseason, and we will be back quite shortly here. Okay, so looks like as far as this channel goes, we are going to be ready to go now. The other game getting set up there, Andy W and SirDimwi will be casting that with Wit on the cams, just by the by. So that one on VRML 2 is going to be the Toxic Units, or actually the the Blast match, I should say, sorry. Backlash Blast. So if you want to see that game, that's on channel 2. This one will be Team Gravity and Toxic Units, and we're gonna get ready to get started. Looks like we actually have our full crew in here, which is to say me and Subtlety. The players are in here, so we're gonna get started momentarily, ping the teams, and get this going. All right, everybody, welcome once again. We're getting ready to get started here. Teams have been now pinged. All right. So this is gonna be over on the left side, orange side. Got Team Gravity, Lewis, Al Pacino, Viatrex, and Simon. The quintessential Echo Arena team. Been around for quite a long time. And looking to just show their stuff today. It's going to be a long day, a lot of games once again. And we're excited. Over on the blue side, Toxic Units, Lowrider, Taco on Thursday, Bad Internet, Dominic. The dark horses for this one. The underdogs, if you will, but does not mean they're not capable because we have seen them all season long. Competing right there and getting better each week. And so right now we're off and underway. The game has begun. Joust is off. Once again, thank you for joining us and for joining me and Subtlety here on this first cast. So down low off of some scrambled play, Sir Dominic will take it away here for Toxic Units, looking into the corner pocket. Simon retaking it for his team and dishing it to Viatrex. The teamwork here for Team Gravity, again in their name, it is Team Gravity. They are absolutely impeccable on the passing lane. Every single match that they've had, you see them get so much assist. They rack it up, assist by assist by assist. It's almost surprising if they do not get an assist on every goal. That is how good their team play is. Al Pacino, there he goes, working it into the bubble, and just the first one. Didn't even need a cross pass on that one, so they'll buy themselves that goal. The only other team I can really think of that's the same way is basically Backlash. Not that the other teams are any slouches on the passing lane, but as far as getting those absolute frequent assists, it is just those two kind of at the top who have really impressed me throughout the season. But now Sir Dominic will take that quick shot. It's going to be off, just barely missing below the bottom of the goal there. And taken back by Al Pacino. His team, Team Gravity, with the first couple points already as it floats down into the bottom of the ramp. Collected here in a quick succession, but a great grab. Just reaching out there in front of the bubble was Taco. And still Team Gravity will retain. So Simon coming away here. And dishing it down low to Alp. Up top to Lewis, has it snagged by Bad Internet this time. So some back-to-back good snags by the boys in the blue. They find themselves with an open three, and that is absolute for the 1-point lead. So in quick succession, there's a couple good grabs there. Taco on Thursday had one, I believe it was, and Bad Internet as well, that last one. Not playing too close in the close proximity with the brawls. They just went straight for the disc, read the lanes, the passes perfectly. And you know what? Against Team Gravity, that's not a bad idea. Just figure out where the passes are going to go and try and intercept it. You don't even need to get stunned and enable them to get those cross passes. Just cut them off before they even can get there. So now Lewis going to be right on that outer edge. Backs it out to Viatrex. Viatrex going up high to Lewis, coming in from the corner, and he's going to go in again. Can't make that one, but Al Pacino, the second attempt to Simon off the backboard. Good assist, good little putback, and that will be a 1-point lead right back for Team Gravity.
9, 8, 7,
That is 2 points for Simon, 2 for Al Pacino, and off those first 2 goals, 2 assists for Team Gravity. Go figure. But off it goes here to Lowrider, has it stolen, so there it is on the steal, off the back, in for the 3 again. That is now 7-3 here, first round. That was a good hit there, so now Lewis finding himself on the board with his first points of the game. And a big one off the steal, so doing a little bit of Toxic Units to Toxic Units on that grab. So Taco on Thursday rolls it out, finds Lowrider over on that Merc Island. Of course, Merc Island named after the Meta Mercs, so perhaps not as relevant to the EU scene, but it was the Meta Mercs over in Season 2 of VRL that kind of made that one famous, that rollout to there. Looking for a pass here up to the back, a nice attack on Al Pacino, so Bad Internet gets the goal, also a stun on Al Pacino. And we know Al Pacino throughout the season as well has had himself an incredible series of games, always getting the saves, racking them up each and every round, it seems like. Fantastic goalie he is. And oh no, that is a bad miss. Luckily, they do not pay, at least not right away. But now the secondary stat gets their back. So it's Taco rolling in with a nice pass to Low Rider going up high, but going to be taken and sent right out of there down the middle and straight into the almost bubble, but bouncing off that island. A boost coming in quickly here, so a tough turnaround maybe for Toxic Units because Team Gravity finds himself with a 10th point, going up by 5 and doubling up on the score of Toxic Units. Definitely had a chance there, but just weren't prepared to actually capitalize on the missed joust. Didn't expect it, and quite frankly, neither did I. But fortunately for Team Gravity, it did not matter. So taking that one over, Taco on Thursday to Low Rider. A light rollout, bit of a mishandling, but luckily do not get punished for it here. So over on the pockets, SirDimwi back passing it out, and there's some good resets. You always want to look for those when you can. That is a beautiful contest on the other end by Simon. A great defense from Team Gravity, but just as well, Bad Internet almost contesting and getting a turnover. But now a stack is going to come up quickly, and there's the 12th point now. Al Pacino with a 4 points for him. But increasing the margins ever so slightly here. Some more up 12-5. There's 4 minutes left in this first round. So in position here to take the first, but not out of the woods because Toxic Units will have plenty of time to come back on that scoreboard. Although if this shot goes in, that is going to be damaging. Lewis, another turnover to Team Gravity. Their defense has been excellent. They're actually playing that mid-line very well, contesting those passing lanes and just trying to bother. Now, just the same, Toxic Units moving up a little bit here, trying to contest. Not going deep out there, but just in the outer bubble at the very least. Now, they will have an open pass up to shoulder, kind of unguarded at the moment, but now being covered. Just the same. Team Gravity going for that backboard play, but that's a good cutoff there. Viatrex was calling for the pass, but the goalie was not stunned out at the time, so he did dive out, and that was a good recovery. But just the same, the recovery here by Team Gravity slings it back to the other side. And currently, exposed goal trying to be covered there by Low Rider. He'll get there in time as Simon works it in off the backboard. And there's a 3 for the 10-point lead now. Team Gravity. That is a quick goal off the backboard. Risky one perhaps, but just out of position enough on the defense. Really couldn't collect themselves in time to find it. So Simon has 8 points. He's leading the way here for his team. And now just piling it on some more. 18-5. This time, Viatrex contributing his first 3 points of the game.
11, 10,
So it started out very close and contested, and also with just a couple misplays in between, maybe the nerves, but now it's just Team Gravity doing exactly what they're capable of. You know, we saw that missed joust, and I was thinking, oh, that's unusual for them, but you know what? Since then, look at that, getting back on defense there. Simon and Lewis, and now Simon again. So rolling in, could not find a shot. Right there, it is Team Gravity just doing exactly their thing. For Toxic Units, attempting to recollect that disc. SirDimwi gets that partial clear, but there's a waiting Team Gravity player. Another recovery here. Bad Internet. Another interception. Simon going down low to Alp. And SirDimwi back and forth. Just playing some hot potato and looking for an open goal if they can. A light leech and a boost from Al Pacino. Some good defensive hands there to get the speed. And going into the deep end. Viatrex will find it, try and send it to Lewis. Lewis was trying to assist him on the punch. Wasn't ready for the pass, but still somehow gets to the other side. Viatrex waiting over there at the nest. Some stuns coming out here, playing out. Uncovered is Viatrex, so he'll have a roll on over for one more pass. And there's a team play. Assists Viatrex beautifully to Lewis for the easy bucket. 20-5 now, a 15-point gap. First few minutes started out pretty close, but then just in the last half of this round, this first round, points started piling on. Again, this is a best of 3 situation here in these finals. Final matches, that is. The actual final matches, the final finals, the grand finals, those will be best of 5, but these initial rounds will be best of 3. And right now, collectively, on that perfect square play, you had a man positioned for Team Gravity in every corner, basically. I mean, you had one at the shoulder, at the backboard, at the opposite shoulder, at the barrier. They had the absolute most perfect positioning you could ask for to find themselves a goal in that one. And right now, just trying to get more on the board. Only 10 seconds left to do it, to maybe score once more here. It will go into the deep end, but no stacks coming through for Toxic Units in that case. So one more shot instead, maybe for Team Gravity, but no, not able to. So first round will end. It's 22-5.
Chalk up a win for Orange.
Really strong opening round here in these championship brackets. Top 4 teams, both regions. And that was a strong start. So round 2 will be underway soon. The leading scorer for Team Gravity, Simon with 8. But I mean, his teammate's not far behind. This is, once again, I mean, only one round out of the way. Everyone for Team Gravity on the scoreboard. Everyone on Team Gravity with at least 1 assist. Viatrex filling up the stat sheets everywhere else as well. I mean, with a save, a steal, 19 stuns, the game high, and doing his thing. Needless to say. Over for Toxic Units, it was Bad Internet and SirDimwi with the points, 2 and 3 respectively. An assist for SirDimwi there, 2 Bad Internet. 2 saves for Taco on Thursday, playing that lane, and for Lowrider, the 9 stuns. But just were, by the second half of that round, that first round, were kind of being clamped off by that Team Gravity defense. On the joust, there were several turnovers caused by Team Gravity, and then getting back on the offense, you saw that positioning, just fantastic.
11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, so round 2 is now underway, taken first here in the play. Toxic Units, they send it down, they go for the clear, go for the boost. Can they find it? There's a absolute pile up here over in that shoulder, but now to the disc holder on the other end. A no momentum fling into the bubble, but that's going to be Alps diving out of that, realizing that that disc would have had no speed behind it because of the no momentum, so they find their momentum. Oh, but the ding right in front of the goal, and that is a missed opportunity there, so it'll be sent back to the other side, and maybe something that Toxic Units wants to capitalize on. Can they? Will they? They will. Bad Internet finding the first 2 here in the second round. So there's a good turnaround, kind of a 4-point swing in a sense because of the missed open goal there at the dunk. So it could have been a 2-point lead for Team Gravity, just swinging the opposite way. And now they find themselves at the offensive joust here, trying to make up for that initial little mistake. Right now, causing another mistake though, Lowrider dipped down for the recovery, the reception, the interception, trying to cause some more deflections in the tunnel here. So going to the mid area, you can see the stack dispersing there for Toxic Units, now opting for more of a zone of sorts. Now they need to find the stack, though, because right now, some off-balance defense will leave the goal a bit exposed, and Team Gravity is one who can take advantage of it. But it looks like they do opt for the back out instead. And fair play to them, because that is the name of their game. Whenever they can get those passing plays, that teamwork, it works out quite well. Right there, Lewis just going off the back. Oh, the headbutt! Intentional or not, can't say for sure, but it was exactly what they needed. So down low it will go, recovered here. A nice punch from Bad Internet. Bad Internet looking up high for his teammate, trying to capitalize on this. Maybe smelling a little bit of blood off a couple of mistakes here. So Taco on Thursday, sliding it on over to his partners on the side. Lowrider finding one pass to the backboard. Oh, but what a save. Al Pacino gets that out of the way, cannot find a perfect clear, but it will be at least a reset into the back for Toxic. Now, defense is out of position here. They do want to take a shot if they can, but another perfect grab there, this time by Simon. Toxic Units once again coming in. They briefly caused some turnovers, but now maybe an open goal. It will not be in. Lewis is there for the possible reception, as is bad internet. Now the goal is open, and maybe a mistake there because it's a 3-point play, and Team Gravity going ahead by 1. So a risky dive on that disc, leaving that goal exposed. And
10, 9, 8,
sometimes that's the name of the game here on this fast-paced play in EU. This is what happens.
2, 1.
They are very fast. They're on those stacks. It will concede open goals at times, more so I think than NA,
Sends it back the other way.
where NA is really more about the slow play and not quite as stack and clear and boost heavy, admittedly. But generally in NA, you don't see nearly as many open goals, which again, not a bad thing, just a difference in the meta is all. The pace in EU is really breakneck, where it's just back and forth all match long. You have double stacks being run quite frequently. And because of that fast-paced play, by its very nature, goals will be left open at times. You know, the defense isn't going to be always set.
Clears it out.
So, in any case, a few minutes off this second round, and not too much in the amount of scoring right now compared to the first. Obviously, Team Gravity just was piling on those points in the first round. At the moment, not doing quite the same thing. So maybe just trying to slow it down and find their heads a little bit here, find their patience. They know they have the 1-point lead, and they know they have a good chance at growing it.
Back downfield.
And yeah, Rocktor in the chat there saying how EU typically forces a lot more clears and boosting, and they seem way faster in that regard. Yep, I agree completely.
Enemy pass.
You know, just the difference between
Way downfield.
metas, maybe pings to a degree. The Europeans have some awesome, pings there. I'm always jealous of seeing the 20s and 30s across the board, but you know, if nothing else, that kind of lended itself and enabled EU to develop that speed so much quicker than NA in general for the past 2.5 years now. I mean, that's been their style. I know, as I take a quick drink here, because I'm even getting a little hoarse. Apologies for that, but in any case, for Simon, he's working it in here. But I remember even working it, hold on, into the goal, comes Al Pacino, and it will be a 2. So that was just a gentle one off the backboard. But yeah, even dating back to the first lands I went to, or actually multiple lands I went to. The thing is, I remember facing Team Gravity for the very first time over in IEM Katowice 2017. Or 2018, excuse me. And no joke, their speed was ridiculous. I wasn't prepared for it, and in fact, my team Eclipse wasn't prepared for it. I mean, we eventually adjusted as that goes deep into the other side, and now maybe an open goal for Team Gravity. Actually, no, because the overshoot resulted in the collection on the defensive end. Now down low, the pass will just miss, and then backing out again. But getting back to what I was saying, though, yeah, that first season, those first finals, those playoffs, was not prepared for their stacks. Like, when I was QB and I would get the disc, that was the first time in Echo Arena, period, that I would already have a defender in my face, like, immediately off of that nest, just about, off of those stacks. And it took me so off guard. You know, I was so used to being able to just find my passes after a couple seconds, collect myself, grab the disc, and, you know, look for my lanes. But then Team Gravity came along and said, hey, this is EU, and this is what we're going to do. And it was a huge adjustment, and it was intimidating as all else. But regardless, going in for some more passing plays. Again, the game's still pretty low scoring. We're less than 4 minutes left in the second round. Lewis going down and looking for another pass, but just some scrambled play. Toxic Units, a clump up of them in the goal right now. So this leaves the goal open again, and Simon will make it.
Get to your launchers.
So they're, for Team Gravity, they're just feasting off of these backboard plays at the moment. And that one getting through, perhaps just because of the clump up in the goal. When you have 2 or 3 players in there, sometimes it does make it hard to actually not only see the disc, but grab it, even if you do.
And we're underway.
So at the moment, 3 minutes left. There's an 8-2 lead, and now going for a goal a little bit low. So backing out into the Toxic hands. Oh, but what a grab by Simon. Now he's going to have a defender at his toe, so he needs to dish it off to his teammate fast. They have a defender at their toe, so that's some beautiful defense from Toxic Units playing those passes. But unfortunately, it will remain on this side. Oh, bad internet takes it away. He's going to go for that corner play. just looking for a clear or maybe a shot attempt. Who knows? Some of those angles certainly on the clears, if you can hit those corner panels on that back wall, they do have a good chance of going in at times. So now Lewis gets pressured. And Team Gravity right now, I mean, you'd think not feeling too much pressure. They have a lead here. It's not a huge one, but they already have the first round in their pockets. They have 2 minutes left, 2 minutes 15 seconds to have this one in their pockets. If that one goes in, not gonna stop it. So Lewis going with a double digits now to 10 points for Team Gravity. He has 12 points on the game. That's the game high currently. Simon not too far behind him with 11, but 5 assists for Simon, impressively.
4, 3, 2, 1.
So, window of opportunity perhaps closing here for Toxic Units. 1:47 left. Now, this is a double elimination series in these matches today, so Toxic Units will still have a chance to come back in the lower bracket. But if this round is indeed conceded to Team Gravity, it is a best of 3, a real best of 3. So no third round will be played here if this is in fact the end. So now going up high, Simon will sky for it. At the moment, they just need to hold the disc, really. They can score some more if they want, but a little bit of disc control will go a very long way. And just running out the clock and ensuring that Team Gravity moves on to the next round. Simon over at the bubble approach will take an anchored swing of a shot. Won't find the mark. They will find a boost and a leech as well. Taken back, though, by Lewis. So Lewis working this up the floor. With less than a minute left, this will indeed be a Team Gravity victory across the 2 rounds. Toxic Units had themselves a great start to the first round. They had a couple opportunities, but ultimately, just the barrage of the team play from Team Gravity and the great positioning all around the midfield and around the bubble was a bit too much to overcome. So one more little spin move, doing a dance, and taking the dish, trying to get it to his teammates. Viatrex, one more tap pass, slung on out. It's intercepted, 17 seconds left. Team Gravity just wanting to build on that momentum with one more game-stopping shot. That's 13-2. To end this series in round 2. So Team Gravity will advance now. Congratulations to them. They'll go on to face the winners of Blast and Backlash going on in the other channel. And Toxic Units will move to the lower bracket. Still a chance to come back here. But a good game, no less, from Team Gravity. 15 points, the game high for Lewis. 11 for Simon. 6 for Al Pacino, and 3 for Viatrex. The 5 assists from Simon, impressively. Meanwhile, 2 saves for both Lewis and Simon, as well as Via, actually. And then the 38 stuns for Viatrex, leading the way. Other side, some of the players had left already, but 27 stuns you can see there for Lowrider. The 4 saves for Talk on Thursday doing some work. But Toxic Units, again, they'll still have some chances yet. And Team Gravity, just happy with this victory here. And knowing they have a really tough game ahead of them. So that'll be it for this match. We will check in on those results, actually, and see how the other match is going over on VRML 2. And it looks like at the moment, Backlash has taken that first series, it would seem. The first round, I should say, in the other series. Currently in the second with still 6.5 minutes to go, so certainly tune into that one over on the other channel. And that will determine this next round set of plays. So again, thank you for tuning in. I've been Palidore, so much for Subtlety on Cams. We'll be back quite soon for the next round.